Walter Wonkite. I'm already into the 420, damn it.
So what are you doing? Nothing. Nothing? Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.
You like music, you like weed, well, we gonna be good friends indeed. This is how much I like more than smoking trees. They'll make you dance the do-si-do and teach you how the chiba grows. Smoke a bowl on the 420 radio show. On Lifestyle Radio.
We need to get Jim and the Royal Kush Band on to do that song right here. It might be hard for him to do it, actually. But anyways, this is the 420 radio show. We are live here somewhere in Ontario and Nova Scotia and Vancouver. Len, are you awake?
No, BC.
Oh, well, BC.
Yes, somewhere in
not
BC.
Vancouver. I think of BC as Vancouver. That, you know. So.
Lenny might still be on his phone call.
Oh, he's talking to his wife.
I'm back. I just got shit going on. Sorry.
That's okay. So we
just
are.
wondered if you were talking to us and forgot you were
No.
Okay.
I wasn't lying. I was talking to my father-in-law.
I was just razzing you.
Yeah, no, but I really wasn't lying.
But if you have shit going on, do you need some toilet paper?
Yes.
So today, Marcel has invited a gentleman named Mike from Mantis Nutrients. So we're going to have a chat with him, find out what they do. What?
Buffered nutrients.
What?
Buffered nutrients.
Oh, you got to put the buffered in there. Mantis Buffered Nutrients.
Yeah,
that's the stuff right there. Yeah, Mantis Buffered Nutrients.
I like the logo.
Thanks.
I like the logo.
I like the nutrients.
And, well, I have to try the nutrients. You'll have to send me some so I can try some. There you go.
I want to know what makes it so special. Obviously, the buffered part, because it was very specific that it had to be in there. But
I'd like to know what the buffered part is.
I think it has to do with pH, right?
Yeah. So everybody wants to know what the buffered part is. That's the secret. That's the secret part of the solution. It's kind of like the special spice for KFC, you know. But that's it's the buffer that makes Mantis so different than anything else really that's on the market. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can kind of just jump into it.
Give her,
you know. So yeah, I mean, Marcel, we can talk on Mantis because you're actually using it right now. But as you know, it is a single product from seed all the way through to harvest. It's the same ratio of food to water the entire life cycle.
You said the same product, so that means you're not switching from one grow nutrient to like a veg to a flower nutrient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally one product the whole way through. Wow. One bottle. Okay.
Hang on. I'll go get a bottle.
Sorry, that's amazing. That's amazing. Like I've heard of one part, right? But it's one part veg, one part flower.
That's right. And then if you want to get good results, you got to add this, and this.
Yeah.
So one product from seed all the way through to harvest. When you mix it with your water, it sets your pH for you. So it'll actually sit between 5.5 and 6.2, and it'll stay there at all times. So that's the magic part about Mantis. Like
even if your water's off?
Yes. Really? So let's say you've got some hard water, your pH is like, let's say 8. You mix it up with Mantis, it's going to drop you in. You'll probably come in at about 5.8. And here's the thing. The buffer itself is inert, so the plant can't absorb it. Therefore, the plant always has access to our nutrient solution. It's like the plant's always at it in all-it-can-eat buffet. You know, it doesn't go through the feast and famine with That is with every single traditional nutrient program. That's just what it is. You mix it up, you're at the right pH, you feed your plants start taking on the nutrients. Once they start taking on those nutrients, it throws the pH off and they stop taking on the food. But that's sorry, go ahead.
So how does that work for all types of growing, like whether you're growing in like deep water culture or soil? Because I know a lot of times, like in deep water culture, like when you put the nutrients in, it kind of degrades over like that week that you've got it sitting there. Does Mantis just kind of, like you were saying, just kind of give it the buffet at all times? It can pull for all week.
Yeah. So it works in any substrate or so hydroponically, cocoa, Promix HP is a great one. If you are using Mantis with a organic soil or something that's pre-charged, you just need to back off the amount that you feed it because it can be too hot. What happens, like let's say if you're working with like a Fox Farm soil that's pre-charged, as soon as you feed that soil that pH buffer, you allow the plant to access all the nutrients that are in the soil, and so the plant will take on too much. So yeah, if you're working with a soil that's already got nutrients in it, then we suggest that you feed once a week in veg, and then twice a week in flower. And so that basically what we're doing there is we're using Mantis more as a soil amendment. Right? We're giving the plant access to anything it might be missing, and we're going to help with the pH and things like that. So circling back to Mary Jane, you were asking about like DWC, like how does it work in DWC or deep water culture? Yep. So people that don't know, this is like it's like a 20 liter or 5 gallon bucket that they put air stones. They're like bubblers. And then you mix it up with your nutrients in the water, and the roots grow into the bucket, into the pail. With other nutrient programs, you have to change that pail out every single week because the solution needs to change as the plant grows, as it progresses. The plant needs different nutrients. But with Mantis, you mix it up 5 milliliters per liter. You got to make sure that water is constantly moving. But anytime that the water depletes because the plant's been pulling the water and the nutrients out, you just top it up at the same ratio. So 5 mils per liter. And that's it. You don't have to drain to waste. You don't have to waste all those nutrients. We actually suggest that you do that just one time throughout the life cycle, like the life cycle of the plant. So right before you flip to flower, you got to drain it all out, make a new solution just to bring it back to its full integrity. But other than that, it literally couldn't be simpler. So one product from seed to harvest. You don't have to pH your water ever, again, because it doesn't change, right? The plant's not able to absorb it, so therefore the pH stays the same at all times. On top of that, it's the same ratio of Mantis to water the entire life cycle. So if you think about this, like if you were a large scale producer, you can tie Mantis into your irrigation lines, and it's the same solution that's going to your nursery that goes to your flowering room. So it's 500 parts per million, always. I guess like to have a good reference point for people to be able to understand how it works. I like to use the reference that Mantis is like it's like a synthetic form of aquaponics. So aquaponics is fish farming. So they actually, they use the excrement from the fish that becomes the nutrients, the fertilizer for the plants. And at no time do they increase the amount of nutrients to water. It's just as the plant grows, it naturally takes on more water and more nutrients. So what we've done with Mantis is we've created a synthetic baseline that the plant can access the nutrients it needs when it needs it. And it's super clean and it's incredibly simple to use.
Well, I know I need to get me some of that stuff already just from listening to that, because just one nutrient rather than all this other crap that I got on my friggin' shelf, plus the pH solution, plus the machine, like the
meter,
pH pen, you know, like,
you
and I had to learn how to use that damn thing.
So let me ask you a question. So this is a synthetic product. It's not a natural product.
Yeah, so it's a blend of 12 different micro and macro nutrients. And then it's a synthetic buffer that, again, the buffer isn't absorbed by the plant. Okay. So I'm gonna say another thing here, Al, that a lot of people, well, they agree or they disagree, but I mean, we've done a lot of testing with it, but because we feed at 5 mils per liter, that's 500 parts per million, and even in flour, we don't ramp up the amount of feed that we're feeding to the plant. Okay. At 500 parts per million, the plant is actually able to absorb all of the nutrients that it takes on, and therefore we've eliminated the need to flush. It's an incredibly clean product. You can feed right up until the day that you're ready to harvest. So that takes a lot of guessing out of it. Like we always say harvest based off your trichomes and not the guesswork that, oh, I think my plant's going to be ready in 14 days. I'm going to start flushing now. That's
the game changer, especially for new growers.
This is
of a new strain.
Somebody who doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah, but this is what I've been pushing everybody on. Is, to me, this is the perfect nutrient for any new grower.
Okay, so
and even old growers, like he's saying, licensed producers.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
Like, why is everybody not using this product?
Let me ask a question, because that might answer that, right? What do you say to people when they say synthetics? Why it's not organic? What do you say to people? What's not the argument, but
yeah, well, in order for it to be organic, it needs to be derived from and or have living organisms in it.
Yes.
So that's just not our product. It's we're a salts blend. Yeah. That has a synthetic buffer, and so we actually Mantis works really great with organic products. Like even I've got a lot of clients that they grow with living soil, but they'll actually use Mantis as a slight little like just to top it up a little bit. Once again, they'll just do like a once a week feed to make sure that if the plant's missing anything, it can then access it through Mantis. I like to so back to like, yes, this is perfect for people that are brand new with growing. This is perfect for large-scale producers that want to standardize their operation. But let's face it, life's fucking busy, right? Like who's got time to spend 45 minutes mixing up your nutrients, especially if I'm just feeding 4 plants in my tent at home? Like, I don't want to do that every day. Yeah. But Marcel, you and I were chatting before this started, and you're saying that you're not at home all the time, but you've got plants that you're growing at home. And I was like, oh, so your significant other is growing them, and you trust her to do that. And it's like, well, yeah, with Mantis, it's 5 mils per liter. Like,
it's simple. There's not 8 different bottles that she's got to read a feed chart to mix them up specifically and stir for the amount of time saying. To me, it's a simple way to do it.
How many things do you use, Mary Jane?
For nutrients?
Like how many products do you use to grow a plant?
Okay, so like Mike was saying earlier, if you were to use just like a regular I use Canna.
No, I mean how many things do you have to pay for?
Yeah, there's the veg bottle, and luckily it's a 1 part but veg. Then you got to buy the 1 part bloom, and then when it's in bloom, you also got to give it a bunch of other things too to help boost the production.
You look great,
but I will tell you this.
I forgot to tell you that.
Thank you. I travel sometimes, or used to travel for work, and had to ask a friend to come over and tend to my garden while I was gone. And You want to talk about the issues. One person I had come over, I came home and there was this much water in the bottom of the tent. Too much watering. Like, and if I had Mantis, I would have been able to have my deep water culture bucket running the whole time. Don't have to worry about it.
See,
like
you just set up a system and you put it into it. Is that what you do? If
you had the Mantis, you would be able to put it in the deep, in the bucket, right?
So using Mantis, it's very easy to you can like fully automate your grow. So systems like deep water culture, you can do RDWC, that it actually recycles it through, and all of the buckets share the same water. Another great system, you get like you've got your reservoir. Make sure that throw like a circulating pump in there and an air stone, and it'll constantly circulate it. But then kick that into auto pots, right? And so auto pots, the plants bottom feed, and they just feed themselves. So like literally, Marcel, you could fill up that res, and you could go to work for the entire week, and your plants would they'd be completely fine.
Oh, really?
They would love it.
Actually, what I do is I do have auto pots, but I learned a long time ago not to feed into my auto pot. My plants actually like it better that my auto pots are just for water. So they have a constant supply of water through that regulated system of the auto pot, and I top feed.
Yep, sure.
So with this, I top fed every 3 days for veg and every 2 days for flower. And I'm super happy with it because it was simple. It's simple to mix up. It's simple to do. Just doing the top feeding.
Yeah. So people are like, well, if you were to sum it up, like what's the elevator, what's the Coles Notes of Mantis? But really it's like Mantis is the smartphone of cannabis nutrients, right? Like the smartphone before the smartphone is the pager, the speaker, all the different parts, the GPS and all of those things. But Mantis really just pulls all those different parts. So like let's face it, with traditional nutrients, your best case scenario, you're like a 3 or 4 part. But a lot of people go all the way up to 10 to 12 different parts, and then you're pHing and all of that. Like it's crazy.
I have to
a Psycho grow kit is 12 parts.
I have
from grow to finish, or from flower or seed to finish. So that's 12 different bottles that through that cycle that you have to mix up.
And I got diabetes, and I can't even remember to take my fucking medication every day, for fuck's sake. So this sounds like something that's like flawless for me.
Oh,
right.
This
almost sounds like the idiot-proof way of growing. Well, if there was the easiest possible way to feed your plants, this is it.
Right.
Well, so I'm going to give you the backstory on how it was created and why it was created. So, so Mantis, we developed Mantis and we manufacture it at CanGenX Biotech. So we also do, we operate under a Health Canada nursery license and also an analytical testing license. We've actually been licensed since 2015 to do, we call it cannabis tissue culture. But even back then, at any given time, we'd be working with like 50 to 100 different strains, and all at different stages throughout the life cycle. And so as we were working to get those plants into tissue culture, and so because all those plants, they have different needs because they're one's a sativa, one's an indica, plus this one's a month old, this one's 3 months old. It literally took all day to keep the plants alive, and so it was just like, it was a freaking nightmare that, mixing up nutrients for all the different plants, it just didn't work for our system. And so Jeff,
is this Jeff? Are you Penticton?
Yeah.
Jeff's from Curro.
Yeah, totally. I was saying that to Marcel. Yeah,
he's from Amherst originally.
Jeff White. Yeah.
This is, oh my God, I've heard about his nutrients coming out. I didn't realize this was exactly who this is. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, man, cool, eh? Yeah.
I don't know Jeff personally, but through Drew, his friend,
That's right. Yeah, Drew Douglas. Yeah.
When I was about to ask you, I was actually Googling you.
Well, Drew was the one that hooked me up with Mike and to try this stuff out. And like I say, I'm impressed. I'm pushing it on a lot of other people.
Well, Drew works with us. He's a friend of ours, and I don't give him a lot of credit, anyone. But you said Jeff got his shit going on, and
yeah, Jeff got his shit going on.
This is just very ironic.
So
can I just add something first, just to go back a little bit? We were talking about synthetics, and Al said people are like, "Oh, it's synthetic."
Yeah, a lot of medical growers.
If you wear spandex. If you wear spandex, nylon, polyester, any of those you're wearing synthetic.
Yes, but
so
a lot of medical growers,
synthetics.
Old school medical growers, you know who I'm talking about, they only want to use organics. But here's the thing. I'm hearing, if it's truth that what he's saying, there's not going to leave any residue. Recently had a friend last year, we all love him, Mr. Matt, who decided to use some Miracle Grow. And then through counseling with Marcel, he flushed it.
Down the toilet?
He won't do it again. No, he won't do it again. No.
So
we basically made him flush the entire system and then put in some actual nutrients.
You were going to say something?
Not saying that Miracle Grow's not nutrients. There's people out there that love this shit, but it's not made for cannabis.
We have better technology now. That's why we have Mike on to tell us about this better, synthetic technology that can help our plants.
Okay, so traditional nutrients, as I'm sure you guys are aware, like when you get into flower and you're following the grow chart, which is incredibly complicated, week 8 add this and that, and but you also know that the deal is to ramp up the parts per million. So it's ramp up, and a lot of people are ramping up the parts per million to 1,200, 1,500. I mean, that's crazy. The reality is, with traditional methods of balancing the pH, you only have a window of time that the plant is actually taking on the nutrients that you're feeding it. And that's why they ramp up the parts per million, because they're trying to get as many nutrients into the plant while they can. But again, with having the synthetic buffer that keeps the water and therefore the substrate at the optimal uptake range, that it allows the plant to take on all of those nutrients. Now, another question, like a lot of times people will say, well, you need to have a veg because the plant needs more nitrogen in veg and the plant needs more phosphorus in flower. Okay, so how do you get around that? Another thing is when you put a lot of phosphorus and calcium together, the ions tend to want to bind together, and that's when you actually get nutrient salts fallout. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like with salts fallout, basically, if you pre-mix and you let the nutrients be together with one another, the ions will actually bind to one another, and they'll fall out of solution. They'll create like little crystals on the bottom of the solution, and the plants won't be able to take it on anymore. So the buffer that we have, it actually works as it keeps all of the ions kind of suspended. It's like they're able to be fluid, and they're able to stay. The calcium's able to stay by itself as opposed to binding with the phosphorus. So that's another huge benefit that comes with it, and one of the main reasons why we're able to take it all the way through. We had to lower the amount of nitrogen a little bit from the total solution, just because it's a challenge to be able to pack everything in and to be able to find the right ratio so that the plant does get what it needs in veg and in flower. But what I like to say, it's kind of like Mantis it's like giving, you say you go to the gym, okay? And you take like good vitamins and you eat really well and you get bigger, but you're not necessarily like as big as you would be on steroids, but you're stronger and it lasts a lot longer. And so other means it's like we're kind of giving them these boosters that will buff them up, but not necessarily do you always get a better end result. And ultimately the results are in the trichomes and the terpenes and that's where the plant's at. And obviously the yield as well.
But
back to
generally strain dependent though, right?
Pardon?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's strain dependent, like,
Well, some strains will feed more heavier than other strains will. Some strains need less water than others. When you're growing cannabis, it's going to be hit or miss anyways. So you're basically always practicing. With this, if you found that your plant was using all of the nutrients rather quickly, then don't increase the amount of nutrients into the water. Increase the frequency of feeding.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So always keep your 5 mils per liter, but then if it'll take feeding every day, feed every day.
Totally. So the beautiful, like, people are like, well, certain strains have different needs as well. So and that's true. Girl Scout cookies is we call that it's a hungry strain. Like it pulls on more calcium and magnesium than a lot of other strains. The thing with Mantis is, and having that pH buffer is the plant is able to take on what it needs when it needs it, as opposed to us feeding it what we think it needs when it needs it. So we're not constantly waiting to see deficiencies in the plant to figure out what we need to give it to bring it back to health. It's the plant's able to basically figure that out on its own, and so that's a pretty exciting thing. Another thing I wanted to mention is a lot of people struggle with growing autoflowers using traditional nutrient programs because you can't follow the grow chart, because the plants, the plant matures on its own time. So it's not like a photo period plant where you're like, okay, I'm going to feed it this on week 4 of veg. It's week 4. I mean, it's probably already flowering. So it's like, oh my God, where am I at? What should I be feeding it? But when you feed autoflowers Mantis, again, they can take on what they need when they need it. And so I've actually, we've got a lot of clients that they've gone to perpetual harvest autoflower grows where they just space it out by 2 weeks at a time. So I've got this guy, he usually grows about 24 plants, but he'll do 6 and then 6 and 6 and 6. And obviously it's all on the same light cycle. And he's got it tied into a fully automated, the plants feed themselves. It really couldn't get any easier. And then you're not pulling your entire crop off at once. It's just like, harvest 6 plants. 2 weeks later, harvest 6 plants. It's like just the steady stream and super easy.
Wow. I'd like to try some, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Because let me tell you why.
I need to know where around me I can buy some of that.
Yeah, well, it sounds like literally for somebody who's never done it before, and I got ADHD up the wazoo. Like I said, I can't even remember to take my meds most of the time. So it sounds like, I don't have a green thumb. I can go out there and set it up so that it kind of does it on its own, eh?
I had a guy. He just wrote me an email the other day, but he just said, I wanted to personally write you and thank you, as I haven't been able to go on vacation in over 2 years because I wouldn't trust anybody to water my plants. But he's like, your product literally changed my life.
Dummy proof.
So it's like, That's freaking awesome. We got this other super cool. This guy was sharing all these photos, but it's from his 80-year-old mom's grow at her house. She doesn't smoke it. She just finds it really, medicating to grow these plants. And then his name's Salco, but he's actually in a wheelchair. And so again, for him, like, instead of having 10 different parts and he's constantly mixing and everything like that, it's like, again, just the simplicity ultimately changed his life when it came to feeding his plants.
Darcy, have you tried it yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
It's like the nutrients that I'm using now, the Floramax stuff out.
Okay.
But Floramax still isn't a one part.
No, the stuff that we got isn't the one part. They do have a one part. That's what we couldn't get.
Huh.
Yeah. So there are one parts, right? Like Green Planet's got the Medi one, but most of them, the one part is the baseline, but then they're like, if for optimal results, you want to add this, and this. Again, the biggest thing that differentiates Mantis from anything else that's out there is the buffered. Like, what am I looking at here? But yeah, the fact that it's buffered, like it's the buffer is that's the game changer, right? That's where that's where the results come in. You know, we've done head-to-heads against every major nutrient program out there. We've gone up against the 12 part, and we're seeing as good, if not better, results. And you know, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. It's just an incredible product. I like to call it like a game changer. You know.
Well, I think people don't realize just how important pHing your water truly is. It will cause deficiencies. If you don't do it, it will prevent the uptake of nutrients in your plant. And it's probably the biggest mistake that new growers do.
And I was going to ask Darcy about that today when he was talking about his grow stuff, actually, because I'm kind of worried about that. I mean, I don't know how long it's been since this property's been farmed, but when they came in and put in hydro and left a big pile of dirt there, you can smell the old poop in it. Like, you can smell the manure in it still. So,
well, you can get a soil test done, and you should get a water test done of that pond.
I'm going to get one this week, actually. I'm getting the pond done. And can I take it to the same place? No.
Probably.
Really?
But that entire grow that I just did with Mantis, I never checked the pH once.
Huh. Hey, Marcel, what did you grow? Like, was it soil or cocoa, or like what? How did you grow it?
I grew it in autopots, bottom feed water, top feed nutrients in ProMix.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
ProMix HP?
No, ProMix general purpose.
Okay.
They were probably out of the HP.
Is that the BS word?
But and they're probably out of it right now because my backyard is full of bales that I got to start filling up my pots for outdoors. So yeah, I'm a big ProMix fan. So I've been growing in ProMix for years. I've tried other ones. I've tried Living Soil, but I like ProMix. My outdoor, I'll amend with a bit of Gaia Green.
Yeah.
Into my ProMix. And then I at least have a half decent organic base in there as well. But it's a nice slow release.
Yeah. Well, what I'm telling you, Marcel, for the outdoor, like, so that's a great plan. You know, you got your ProMix, and then mix in some Gaia Green, some organic amendments there. And then, it's got the nice slow release, but we suggest that you actually feed once a week with Mantis in veg, and then twice a week in flower. And so doing that, that's
not going to hurt my feelings. I've got plenty left.
Yeah, well, that's great. I mean, that way, like, because if you're feeding your monstrous outdoor pots every single day, and you're in you're in a neutral substrate or something that's got no nutrients in it at all, it will add up. Like the amount of nutrients that you would need to go through to get through a full cycle outdoor. I mean, your plants will be beautiful, but it's going to be quite pricey.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
I happen to be sitting here staring at a rabbit eating my grass, and it just came to me. What about animals? They sometimes interact with the plants. They get a little in them. Is it going to harm any animals or anything?
No, not at all.
Okay.
We don't want the animal to eat the soil.
Well, I don't want it either. No, but they will eat the plant. I mean,
yeah. So that's actually that leads into a really good point. Mantis, like for your garden, your actual garden, give it a shot once a week or once every 2 weeks, and you're gonna have the nicest lettuce, or tomato plants. Like it's just beautiful. Actually,
so
we've got a client
for other things, not just pot.
Absolutely, yeah.
Flowers
absolutely.
As well. What, Marcel?
I've been doing that for years.
Flowers too.
So when I mix up nutrients for my garden, then I mix up enough nutrients that feeds my garden, and then I feed all my tomatoes, peppers, everything.
Now, if you were using a 12th step, would you be doing the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you see, like I said, I'm a newbie.
Oh, man, I've had crops of tomatoes grown with Psycho and Remo and everything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's nutrients.
Yeah. Heck it's
food. That's what it is.
It's the best nutrients that are made, So actually, talking about that, so back to Jeff. So Jeff White, he's from Amherst. He's the CEO of Mantis and CanGenX. So he's a true plant scientist. He spent 17 years. He's an agronomist, a biochemist,
chemist,
a virologist. Anyways, all the big words. And so I was telling the story of how it was driving us nuts. It was taking us all day to keep the plants alive with traditional nutrient programs. And so he went to work on designing an all-in-one. And what he did was he came at it from a different angle. Instead of looking at, okay, what's working for everyone else, it's like, what are the closest genetic relatives to the cannabis plant? And they are hops. Everyone probably knows that one. Mm-hmm. The next one is actually vinifera grapes, like wine grapes, or just grapes in general. And then this one always, this one interested me, but it's actually castor beans. So hops, grapes, and beans. There's been a ton of true research as to what those agricultural crops truly need for nutrients. And so he took the breakdown of each of those, looked at the similarities between the three, and created 3 different all-in-one formulas, and then played with those. But then added the synthetic buffer that really that's what makes the product so magical. As again, it creates the gateway. It stops the nutrient ions from binding to one another, and it creates the gateway for the plant to always have access to the feed program, which is a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Wow.
How, you asked me like, okay, so how do I get Mantis? So, Mantis Buffered Nutrients online. I wanted to share a code or a couple of promo codes for everyone that's listening today, and for any of you guys, but I can save you 40% off. So for your first time, write this down if you got a pen, but it's use the code first time and then number 1 right after it. And first time, there's no space, and they're all capitals. So first time 1. Put that in the discount bar when you're about to check out. That's going to knock 40% off the price. And then, thanks, Mary Jane. And then, so once you've done that's for your first time purchase, so you get to know the product. Unfortunately, you can only use that code once. But then I've got another code. If you order 4 or more bottles, you can get the same rate. And that's so the number 4 and then or more. Again, no spacing, all caps lock. And then the number 1 after that. So 4 or more, 1. Boom. Thanks, Mary Jane. Yeah, so that'll keep you at the same great rate. So yeah, that's that. We've got 1 liter is enough for 200 to 280 liters of water, which is it's a typical 4-plant grow. Depending on, you know, if you want to grow a tree and you veg it for like 8 weeks and you're in a great big pot, well then it's going to take you a bit more. You probably use one liter for 2 huge plants, but it's all relative, right? You know, you're going to get about the same yield as if you were to grow 4 plants on a 4-week veg. Yeah,
I was online checking out the price just before you started chatting about all this, and you add up all the other stuff that I would be currently putting from, you know, seed to flower to harvest, you're looking at probably more than what your 1 liter bottle is going for.
So yeah, thank you for touching on that. That's so for us, like, being an all-in-one, people don't understand that it actually literally replaces everything. And so they're like, how is it so expensive? You know, how is it? I mean, so it's $99 is the full retail price. But that's literally the only product that you need. You don't even need pH up and down. You don't need to buy a pen. You're not adding anything else. You know, if you really get into it, if you were to walk into a store or to buy things online and you're like, I want to grow 4 plants and I've got nothing, and I want to grow quality cannabis, it's going to cost you at least $120 to $140. That's just where it's at. We know where we're at. So Mantis, there's about 2 or 3 programs. Like if you were to buy the full program, way more expensive than Mantis. We're on the higher side of the average. But then again, the amount of time savings is, I mean, that's valuable. Like there's, you know, what is your time worth to you? So it's not the cheapest, it's not the most expensive, but it's definitely the easiest. And it's incredibly consistent. Like I love troubleshooting with people, but I love people sending, I would prefer people sending me pictures of their plants and they're like, oh my God, like my plants have never looked so good. And we get that all the time. That's my favorite part of my job. But there is troubleshooting because, as you know, they're like growing, there's so many different things that can come into play. Like the environment, is it pests? Did you overwater? Did you underwater? Is it too hot? Like, you know, and for a lot of people, when they switch to Mantis, they can't help themselves from adding other things because they're so used to it. Well, I'm just going to give it this booster and things like that. And people, when you're using Mantis, you need to be very careful adding other things. Because of the pH buffer, it allows the plant to take on what you're feeding it. So we've designed Mantis to be everything that the plant needs. It was specifically designed for the cannabis plant. But so if you add other things, there's a chance you're going to burn your plant. So if you can't help yourself, you want to try adding something else, you know, some terpinator or whatever it is, start at like quarter strength, you know, max half strength, and just see what happens. And I always suggest for your first go, don't add anything. Like it's just let it see the results that you can get from the one product. Like why spend more money on other additives if you can get an incredible result with just the one product and keep it super simple? Or if you're going to add other things, do it to half your plants so you can actually see if there's a difference. You know, if it's like, well, I need to add this because I'm going to get a better result. Well, if you do it to all your plants, how are you to know? Right? If you don't believe that it's possible to have clean white ash grape burning cannabis without flushing, then instead of just not believing us, do a side-by-side. Flush half your plants and don't flush half your plants. It's as simple as that. We love all the trials and things like that. And you know, people that they're like non-believers, you know, it's like, do a side-by-side. Do your favorite nutrient program, and then do Mantis right next to it. And at the end of the day, like, the proof is in the pudding. And I'm not going to say that we beat out every single program every single time or things like that. Like, people get really accustomed to their grow programs, and the nutrients that are out there, they work, and they work great. It's just Mantis is easier. So what's your time worth to you? That's you know, that's what we're all about.
Yes, yeah, I personally like the fact that, like, if I were to walk into a hydroponic store as a new grower and say, you know, I need everything I need to grow 4 plants, it would be awesome if, instead of pulling out, you know, veg, flour, you know, your boost and all this other stuff, and like having 6 or 7 bottles on the counter that add up to, like you're saying, $100 and something. It'd be so much nicer for them to pull the Mantis bottle, the one bottle, stick it on the counter, and be like, "This is all you need. Do 4 plants, start to finish. Come back next year for the next one." Like,
totally. So that's a win for me. But it's also like, I have battles with that with the hydro shop owners. They're like, well, why the fuck would I want that? Because my job is to be a consultant to these people and to teach them how to grow with all these different parts. And when they have issues, they come back to me, and there's value to that. Whereas your product is so simple, why would I want that? And certainly this isn't with all the stores or anything like that. And but it's, I get it. It's you know.
I would say, Mike, for everybody that says that to you, explain to them that time is money, and that every time that person comes back and takes their time asking questions, it's costing them money that they could be making more sales.
Oh, for sure. Another great point is, like, to bring in Mantis, it's one product. You know, for a store to bring in a new nutrient line, it's 10 different products. It's a huge investment. And it's a huge amount of real estate on their shelves, where you can fit like 12 bottles of Mantis in 1 square foot. And the amount of profits that store is going to pull off that is far greater than probably 98% of all the items in their store. So there's a lot of arguments that can go either way. What I will say is that, you know, we launched commercially about 2.5 years ago, and the calls. So originally we were going to work with a wholesaler, and because the wholesaler is tied to all the different stores, and the stores can order from the wholesaler. But what we found is that because it's such a unique product, you know, the stores weren't able to explain it to the same capacity that I would be able to. And so I found that it actually made more sense for me to be making the calls to the stores to be able to explain it to them, because a lot of the shops in the beginning, it was like, yeah, no, it's an all-in-one from seed to harvest. And they're like, I don't believe you. That's not possible. You know, and so it literally, for the first year, it was like, can I send you a sample? So it was like, we send out thousands of samples of Mantis to get them in the skilled growers' hands. And now it's so nice because, you know, like, I made a call to a store on Conception Bay in Newfoundland, right? Like the very tip of the other side of the country. And I phone him up, and he's like, dude, it's crazy. You just asked me about that. Like, I just had 3 different customers come in and ask me about Mantis this week. I'm like, that just made my heart feel good, right? You know, it's like coast to coast. We've got that. You know, we just did our first sale to the UK, and yeah, we're starting to trickle into the US a little bit. So yeah, it's been fun to watch the brand grow.
Awesome. I'm looking forward.
I'm testing it right now.
Seeing what it'll do.
I'm testing it right now because I want to see the ash. I broke a branch off last week by mistake.
We can't see what you're doing, by the way.
But it happened. Yeah. I'm smoking a joint. That's all I'm doing.
Well, you got to fix your camera. We want to see.
There it is.
Smoking a joint.
Do you find the Mike? Do you find the U.S. market a tricky one?
Yeah, so we're super slow launching into there. We're actually so it's an online sales platform that sells in Canada that is just made the move into the US. So basically, we're just directing people in the US to there. We're not aggressively going to direct to stores because there's a lot of challenges that come with selling to the US with knowing which where it's legal to be selling and where it's not. So we're very apprehensive and just we're not jumping on that really quickly.
I find them pretty. I find them guys down there. I find the big growers in the States, they're pretty set on the nutrients that they got, and it's pretty hard to change their mind.
Well, you know what?
That's the same with growers anywhere, though.
I was going to say that's the same thing here. If especially like talking to a large scale producer, let's talk about churro cannabis. Well, I would love for you guys to use Mantis. It's just you're already using a different nutrient program. So in order to change over, it takes a lot, And so what I've been finding, because we do have large scale growers and quite a few micros, it's the ones that were actually struggling or having some issues with their nutrient program that they come to us looking for something simpler, and just boom, it just standardizes their whole operation. So that's a thing. Looking to the future, the Canadian government's really going to be clamping down on environment, like how much water usage are you going through, what's your electrical usage, things like that, and it's going to come in a form of carbon tax. The amount of water that you can save by switching to Mantis is really considerable. It's going to be a thing that in the future, I know for a fact that a lot of the big companies will be looking desperately to find solutions to make their facilities better for the environment, just to run more efficiently. And Mantis can definitely aid in that.
What about Mantis and RO water?
Yeah,
because
so that's
as a licensed producer, we would use a lot of RO water.
What is RO water?
Reverse osmosis.
Okay.
Yeah. So as a license, so first off, RO, basically you're wasting 50% of your water. It goes through, it strips out all of the chemicals. It also strips out all of the minerals from the water. And then it wastes an exorbitant amount of water. There are different methods of water purification now that use like electrolysis or UV lighting and things like that you can actually not waste the same amount of water that you would with RO. I'm glad that you brought up RO, because Mantis, actually, that's like the one thing. It's kind of like the kryptonite to Mantis. So what I mean by that is when you run water through the membranes, the filters of the RO machine, you strip the water of everything. So typical tap water sits around, let's say 120 parts per million to 250 parts per million. And there's all kinds of stuff in there. There's fluoride and, there's
chlorine.
There's chlorine. And then obviously there's natural, there's calcium, magnesium, there's iron in the water.
Mercury, depending on where you live.
Sure.
Arsenic.
Totally. Yeah.
Cocaine.
But so what happens when you strip all of the minerals out of water, it actually messes with the polarity of the water, meaning that the ions that were in the water that used to be stable from the minerals that are in the water become really, they're all over the place. And so when you add Mantis to RO water, what happens is the pH buffer actually works to stabilize the ions. And therefore the pH buffer doesn't work as effectively in holding the pH as between that 5.5 to 6.2 range. There's simple solutions to that. So you can most RO machines, you can get a cartridge that it runs through and it actually adds minerals back into it. So it's just called a remineralizer. Another solution is you can actually just add a little bit of CalMag or calcium magnesium, bring it to about 125 parts per million. That stabilizes, or basically like or it stabilizes the polarity of the water, and then you mix Mantis with it, and it'll hold really strong.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, please.
I have a pond on site here.
Awesome.
I am going to have it tested, but if it comes back and it's not so great, can I still use it using something like that? Like using something like Mantis? Buffered nutrients?
So we actually suggest that people just use tap water. Like pretty much all the municipalities. And yes, sometimes there can be a little bit of chemicals in there, but it's not enough to really affect your plant.
This is a protected water zone, so this whole area, like I'm almost in the Kawarthas, right? So the water here is drinking water protected. Like you can't put a shitter beside a pond, that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Right. You have wells in that area.
Yes.
You don't have municipal water.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So sometimes well water, it's a good thing that you're getting it tested, because sometimes there can be like a lot of sulfur in it or something like that. And, that's going to affect, it could affect the plants.
Okay.
Here's a really simple solution to home growers. Go to Canadian Tire or something like that. Pick yourself up
anymore.
Well, yeah, I forgot. I'm in BC, so like we're able to go everywhere. We're super lucky, but
we're in Ontario. We haven't been able to go shopping in months, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy. But when you can, or you can order this online, but you pick up an RV filter. Okay, so when you're in your trailer right now.
Yeah.
So you're tied into like tap, garden hose water.
Yeah.
That you probably don't want to drink that. But if you actually just put up a simple RV filter, it's a carbon filter, it's going to pull out the majority of the nasty shit out of that water, and you're going to be able to drink it. It's the same thing for at home.
There's one here or not, but I'll look.
Yeah. And so that's a great thing to have in your trailer. But, for the home grower, that's like, I want to take a lot of the junk out of my tap water to feed my plants. That's a simple and cheap solution as opposed to having to invest in buying like a full-blown RO machine.
Yeah, it's just a few different things that you tie in together, right? A few different filters, right?
Was there ever a house there?
Here?
Al?
No.
Yeah.
No. This was severed in 1963. I don't know how long it's been since it's been farmed, though.
But so it doesn't have a well.
No, but there's, I got a 20-foot pond, and there's a lot of groundwater, so I'm not going to have a problem finding water here.
Are you going to do a driven point well?
I'm going to try a shallow point, yeah. See what happens there, if I'm allowed.
Yeah.
Right.
There are rules, I'm finding it.
But get your pond water tested.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do that this week, yep.
Your bacterial levels right away will be high in that anyways, because if you have ducks and stuff. Sure.
I don't have any. The only birds that are in there are the birds that are eating the seeds off of the tops of the old growth of the. I'm trying to come up with the words.
Cattails.
Yeah, thank you.
So then you got like pond thrushes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
So I assume that's a good thing.
Well, it's not bad. It's not like ducks and geese.
No, there are a lot of frogs about, so they probably.
I was going to say, guys, if there was a lot of ducks and geese around out, there'd be a lot of shit in there. Don't go near the water because there's a good chance you catch beaver fever.
Okay, well, that's why I'm having it tested.
Well, yeah, because when you get it tested, they'll also test it for E. coli.
Okay. So if it comes back with stuff like that, I should not use that. I'll use rainwater instead.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, don't use water with E. coli, arsenic, things like that, because your plant will uptake all of that.
Okay. Good to know.
Truth.
Good
Truth.
Know. So are we
Did
ready?
you know what?
No, go. I was just going to ask if we were ready for a break.
Sure, but very quick. Did you know that if they took hemp and planted it in Chernobyl for like 6-7 years, it would clean up all the radioactivity?
I actually watched a documentary about Chernobyl, and they mentioned that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Elon Musk actually asked if anybody had a solution to what had happened over, was it Fukushima?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I wrote on Twitter, I was like, give me the money. Just go and plant a bunch of hemp and cannabis over there. You're welcome. Yeah. Pay me. But he never wrote back.
Yeah.
It's a good try, though. You almost had it.
Well, it's the right answer.
Oh, for sure.
It is.
Yeah.
Just go plant weed everywhere.
So
Absolutely.
Let's take a quick little break, folks. I got we're really big fans of Pink Floyd around here, Mike. And so, but I also like Mike Love, okay, who's an indie artist who's actually very popular. He does a lot of reggae. You'll hear what I'm talking about. So this is a song from Mike Love and Tavana, I think. One of our regular listeners, PJ, posted this morning, and it's Comfortably Numb, a Pink Floyd cover. So it's a 7-minute song. Go pee, whatever. Go check your plants. We'll be back. This is the 420 radio show. We'll be right back. Oh, wait, I almost pushed the wrong button.
Looking for rock, punk, metal, and alternative rock? Check out the Coverage Radio Show on 420radio.ca, every other Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. New and retro music, major label and independent music. Only on the Coverage Radio Show.
Hey, this is Cheech.
And this is Chong.
And you're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
What is it?
Lifestyle Radio. Say it one more time.
420 Radio?
Ooh.
Please hang up and try again.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
Hello, is there anybody in there? Just not if you can hear me. Oh, is there anyone home? Come on, now I hear you feeling down. Oh, well, I can ease your pain, get you on your feet again. I need some information first. Oh, just the basic facts. Can you show me where it hurts? There is no pain, you are receding. A distant ship, smoke on the horizon. You are only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying. When I was a child, I had a fever. My hands felt just like two balloons. Now I got that feeling once again. I can't explain, you would not understand. This is not how I am. I have become comfortably numb.
pray there'll be no more I, but you may feel a little sad. Come on now, I think it's working good. That'll keep you going through the show. Come on, it's time to go. There is no pain, you are receding. A distant ship, smoke on the horizon. You are only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying. When I was a child, I had a fleeting glimpse out of the corner of my eye. I turned to look, but it was gone. How can I put my finger on it now? The child is grown, the dream is gone. And I have become comfortably numb.
What'd you think of that, Marcel?
I think perfect fucking timing. Because that song was excellent. They did a really good job.
They did. And let's see how long it takes Facebook to pop that one, because it's a cover, not an original. They won't flag it.
I smoked that joint, and that song came on. That was just perfect timing.
Yes, I was enjoying that and chatting with Mary Jane. She's looking at my property. Stop showing my property online, Mary Jane.
All right, so now
I made sure that we didn't show coordinates or anything.
I got pictures everywhere of this place on here. So.
Did you see? I sent you a screenshot of what you see when you go on Google Earth and look at my house.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. Yeah.
Yeah, you literally can't see anything. My whole house is blurred out.
So I was going to say something. Is Darcy back?
Well, you can't see. You got to open your eyes.
No. They're all across the top, so I've got to move you. There's so many people
Go
in
to
there.
gallery view.
No, because then I got to look at everybody.
No, here. Hold on. I had Mary Jane on because she's prettier to look at.
Oh, game changer.
Not just
that makes it better.
Come on.
Here, we'll do the gallery for a little while.
No, but I was going to say.
Oh, we got an echo going on.
We have an echo.
Wow. Do we ever?
Wow. That just started on its own, man.
Somebody's volume's up too. Oh.
I don't know what it is.
It's fixed.
Did it fix?
It fix itself? Sometimes it does.
Can I ask a question? I had a question I wanted to ask the LPs in the room tonight. Is there a certification given to master growers?
No, it's a made-up title.
Is it? Okay, so it was okay that I like master
He's a master grower.
I was at one point for fucking sake of fucking Health Canada.
I'm a masturbator grower.
There's no such thing. I actually, no offense to the master growers out there, I find the term just kind of arrogant. I like head grower or just master. It's just arrogant.
It's like celebrity.
I prefer the term OG.
Any term master, like I think like your head grower, or like I just the term master is just arrogant anyway.
But you know what? Okay, 10 years ago, Len, even 5 years ago, that was a title that everybody respected and stuff like that. It just happened. But I get what you mean because it's a
title that was used
it's a
in
made
the black
up title.
market. But it was used in the black market.
Yeah.
It basically it's a grower that has experience of growing cannabis.
But
when
are you
deep water culture,
what
soil, whatever?
As Mary Jane said, what makes you certified? There's no real.
Well, it's
there's nobody certified, but somebody that's got experience of growing in all the different styles and can do it proficiently.
Is there a certification for master plumbers?
Grower.
Is there a certification for master plumbers?
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Or is that just a made-up title?
You got to remember,
I'm
when the cannabis industry was all black market, there's no way you could have anybody certified.
Yeah, there's no.
Now they may go
the term master grower is in LPs, like it's in the legal side. So I
now it
assume
is.
Retail.
Now it is, but it's been in the black market for years.
So at Truro or another LP, what makes that person that gets that legal tag of master grower?
Whoever you trust to run your grow.
So they don't have any paperwork that said I studied for 12 years at university or anything?
Well,
where are they going to get it?
The question I was asking is because there is special certification that
there are programs
now,
yeah.
manager would need to have in order to operate at a licensed at a store. And they're only allowed to work at that one store and have that license at that one store. But a master grower apparently just has to be knowledgeable in all the forms of like Marcel was saying, deep water culture, soil, all that other stuff. Just enough to say, like, I know my stuff.
More or less. But they also have to be in a position of trust because they're not responsible for the entire grow of that facility. So,
it's still the legal framework is still so new that they call him the master grower, but there is no true certification or framework or hoops they need to jump through. Like
it's kind of deceiving.
If you're running a large restaurant, then you're typically a trained chef if they're going to call you the chef, right? Where that just doesn't exist yet.
I think they're head chefs too, by the way, not master chefs, are they? Really master
well, unless you win Master Chef, but
I just find the term master. I find the term master arrogant. Doesn't matter what industry.
I
so
concur.
I have I asked because I have my can sell license now, so I'm can retail, like I can go into a store and sell cannabis. But if I want to be a master grower, there's no like certification that I have to go through. I just have to learn.
I'm sure over time it's going to be a cash grab anyways. They're going to put up courses and people could get certified as master growers or whatever they want to do down the road. But really, if you look at it, the majority of the micros out there and a lot of the LPs, their master growers are ones that have grown in the black market.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, then technically, would you not be a master grower, Marcel? Same with
Sure.
Darcy and Lenny.
Sure, but I'm
Dale,
not the master grower, because master grower in the legal framework is a title position. So you have you have the president, vice president,
CEO,
master grower.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So the master grower is signed on with Health Canada as somebody being knowledgeable about cannabis, as well as being responsible for all that cannabis.
And being in the position of the master grower. So technically, if you
the master
don't
grower,
have a job at an LP as a master grower, you shouldn't be calling yourself a master grower.
No, they should. Honestly, the right term in the LP space should be the head of cultivation.
But master grower was used before LPs were around. So why can't they still use master grower?
Okay.
Yeah, but honestly, the terminology is stupid, because honestly, it should be just the head of cultivation. It's all about responsibility and documentation. Yes. It has nothing fucking to do with how good the plant. They don't give a fuck if you can grow the plant well at all.
But I see what Marcel's saying. If you're not in the legal framework, like if you don't work for an LP, but you still have the knowledge of a master grower, you're not going to call yourself the master production.
Marcel, read what Hillary said in the chat, please.
They want you to have an education in horticulture and biology, natural sciences, etc. At least that's what I've seen in help wanted ads for regular greenhouse, let alone cannabis. Yeah, and a lot of places want that. If you're going to hire somebody, if I was going to set up a greenhouse operation, I'm going to hire people that have agricultural degrees, right? Because it doesn't matter what I'm growing, whether it's tomatoes or cannabis. I'm still going to want some of those ones there with the degrees.
So you see, this is why it's shocking to me, because, I mean, you can go out and become an agriculturist, a horticulturist, all these different altruists, and yet the government doesn't require that.
Adulterist.
The government doesn't require that to be labeled a master grower. But yet, and the reason I said the plumber thing is because if you were going to become a master plumber, which is an actual title, you have to be certified. You have to go through school. You have to do an apprenticeship, all that shit, just like a master mechanic, you know.
Right.
Don't worry, Al. All the schools are trying to create the program.
No, I realize the programs are already. Yeah, I know they're already there. I mean, there's
a master grower will also go through an apprenticeship.
Yes. Eventually. Okay. Yeah. Well, you would think you would want to.
Even the ones in the black market that are considered master growers, they went through an apprenticeship, whether it was on their own and learning by trial and error.
Somebody always teaches. There's always a rabbi out there teaching people, right?
But this is still such a new industry that we don't have degrees for cannabis horticulture, right?
Well, there should be.
Specifically growing cannabis. And growing trees is not the same as growing cannabis. Growing lettuce is not the same as growing cannabis. And you can say all you want, yes, they're just plants.
I remember that. There was an LP that hired a master grower that was knowledgeable in something other than cannabis, and
he was a tree farmer.
Well.
He was a tree farmer.
I heard it was lettuce.
No, they hired.
I'm sorry, I agree with Lenny. To me, just the term master grower, it touches like a like a Master Yoda type feel, and I feel like I don't want to call you master. I know you're knowledgeable.
The only time I appreciate the term master is the Star Wars universe. How about that?
Right.
Yeah. No,
I'm
just so used to hearing the term that it doesn't bother me the same way. I'm also used to hearing the term of OG growers and things like that. But people like Darcy and I, we don't have a degree in growing cannabis.
But you've probably
we could teach the fucking course.
You could
right?
probably, I was going to say, you probably teach
honestly,
the course. Yeah.
I was at, like Al, you were saying about like the schooling and stuff. Okay, so I just went through to get my can cell, and for example, one of the things they teach you is the difference between like you have to educate the customers in the difference between sativa and indica, and indica provides the couch feeling. And I'm sitting here watching this going, no, that's wrong. Don't teach people that. So even though the education is there, it's who's putting out the education. So Marcel, if there is no master grow course yet, what are you waiting for?
Somebody to want to put that on.
You should help build it. You know how much money would be behind that? And at least then we'd get decent information.
So quickly, what's the Coach Lock strain?
Purple Kush. Oh, Pink Kush right now anyway.
Because you were saying about indica.
I would say it's more a CB. I would say it's more the CB. Is it the CBG or the CBN? Because it's a cannabinoid that's responsible for it, not a strain.
Old pot.
Yeah,
CBN.
old pot.
Hey, Dars.
Put it in the windowsill and let it.
Yo.
You got something you want to talk about today?
Well, I can. I didn't have anything specifically planned because you were going to ask questions.
Well,
you got to play the tune though.
I got to play the tune.
He always says that.
I want to play the tune. Okay, here we go. You ready? Here we go.
Play the tune.
This is how it grew to me.
Take it away, Darcy.
Question now.
Yeah. I forgot.
Actually, I remember some of what it was. It was about your soil and your pond.
Oh, okay. Well, we kind of talked about that. I was wondering if, the old growth that's in there is going to cause issues.
It all depends. I mean, if you're planting them right in the ground, then make sure stuff around them.
No, I'm not.
But
no.
Good. I was going to say good because if it's your first go around, I prefer if you grew in a pot. You have a little more control over it. Yeah. You just got to remember that hot summer days dry pots out really quick.
Well, I noticed that today because I put the little guy out there when I got here, and halfway through the afternoon, because it was humming out here for a little while, it was dried out already, right? And then it rained.
So, Darcy, can you make a pot yourself out of bales of hay?
Me and Marcel is kind of dealing with this.
Not hay.
Hay. You're not growing potatoes.
Okay, but can you use something to create a pot so that way it's still above ground without actually digging
So you
down?
want to use full bales.
Well, I want to be able to create my own grow space. I don't want to buy a big
bag.
What are those grow bags?
Yeah.
I don't want to buy a grow
Then just buy a
bag
cube of soil. Buy a cube of soil and cut the top off it.
Oh, the whole bag of Promix?
And just stick it in there.
Yeah. So
or lay it on and fluff it, but you got to fluff it up. You can't just fluff up the one area because you got to remember that's compressed at like I forget it's like 5 or 10 ton. They compress that stuff at.
It's an easy trick to do.
Okay.
All you do is you take the bale of Promix and get an empty bag. Cut the bale in half, right, in the middle, and flip the two ends up. Poke holes in the bottom of the bags on the two bottoms, right, because now top has become a bottom. So you have two open ones. Take out about a quarter of the soil, and then with your hands bust up the rest of the soil and dig right down to the bottom and bust it all up. Now you have 2 pots, plus you have a bag of soil.
But what if I want to go bigger and do the one whole plant in one thing?
Then lay the bag on its side.
Okay.
Yep.
Cut a slit into it. Dig out about a quarter.
Yep.
And then bust everything up with your hands.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
And when I say your hands, I mean your hands, because you don't want to poke holes in the side of the bag because you don't want it to rip open. But you want to poke holes in the bottom of the bag.
So it drains.
Yeah.
Water's got to be able to
you
get
don't want
out.
to drown your plants.
If you get 3 days of rain and you've got bags full of water, right?
I'd hate for you, MJ, to get a...
Will that work as well as the bag?
Pardon me?
Will that work as well as those bags that you were telling me to get?
Yeah, they'll do the same thing. Al, what you could do is if you had your water tested, you could actually put your plants near your pond so they're like on the edge of the pond, and they've got a constant feed of water all the time.
There's no way to do that over there. Unfortunately, it's all very hilly over there. Like I can't walk up to the pond, but in one spot, maybe 5-6 feet away. Right?
Have you walked in? So you've never walked into the pond?
You can't, dude. You can't.
Why not?
Because it's fucking deep.
How do you know? If you haven't walked into it,
I've been told. We just were told.
If you're afraid of the pond, how do you know it's deep?
I don't know. I got to go find out. Haven't
I
gone.
saw
find out. Walk.
What's that?
I saw the coolest. I saw the coolest thing the coolest thing the other day. There was a blow up inflatable dinghy with like an ice cream pail lid, and then the rock wool with the basket. Basically, someone's testing it out, but they've got a cannabis plant kicking out on their little floaty that's just floating around their pond.
Really?
So depending on the quality or the amount of nutrients and organisms in the water there, that could be be pretty successful. I mean, it's
lily pad can do
it. Get windy and it's probably going to get knocked over. But I was like, props to you. That's pretty awesome.
I hate for it to be top heavy and all them butts go in the water.
Yeah, if it gets too heavy, it'll just sink the whole thing.
Yeah, I wanted make it a bigger pontoon type thing.
I wanted
and
to
put
show you guys
autoflower.
Go ahead.
Oh, tissue culture.
Here, hold on. Let me put you on feature here so we can see it here. Where are you? Here you are. Here. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that immersed in something, or is it just in a container?
Yeah. So the tissue culture. First thing we do.
You should have told everybody it's Mantis.
No, this is the other stuff that we do at CanGenX, as well as we do molecular testing. Well, like we do sex testing, and then we also do virus and viroid testing. But with our tissue culture, what we do is we get the genetics in, we test them to make sure that they're virus free and viroid free, and then we get it into tissue culture like that. And the cool thing about tissue culture is we can actually ship plants all over the world, because once they're in there, they're certifiably sterile. Like it's a sterile vessel.
It's like a stasis thing that we see on those sci-fi movies, kind of thing.
Yeah, totally. Like growing. That like they talk about building a space station on Mars.
Yeah.
They would be sending out all kinds of different like carrots and potatoes and probably cannabis in tissue culture. So it's in vitro. Yeah, it's basically in a sterile environment. And yeah, so it kind of made me think about it when you were talking about like master chefs and where there's probably going to be some kind of schooling and some sort of certification that comes with that. With any agricultural commodity, like for example, potatoes, because disease is so rampant in potatoes, there's actually levels of certification. Like farmers that grow mass scale and sell commercially, they can only use certain grades of potatoes. And to start off, you actually have to start from tissue culture, so that you can confirm that you're starting with a clean and sterile starter material.
Really?
Yeah. So for us, our tissue culture, we call it certified Stalk. And we say that it's certified because we test it first. We make sure that it's virus and viroid free, and then we get it into the tissue culture. And then if we were to ship genetics to you when you receive them, it actually poses zero risk to your facility, because there's literally no chance that there can be contact with pests or bacteria or anything like that. The way that we know that it's bacteria free is because those containers are actually kept at room temperature, and there's obviously moisture in there. And if there was any bacteria, that moisture would show signs of mold or different fungus or different signs of different pathogens.
Huh. Really? So if I had a plant, say I had a facility, I had a single plant that it was the only one of its kind. Yeah. I could send you some of that plant, and you could turn around and make me a million clones?
Yeah. So what I would do is you would grow it into a mom.
Yeah.
You would send me about 10 cuttings of that plant.
Yeah.
I would then root it and establish it. I'd put it through like a quarantine just in case it had anything that came with it, which is really common. And then once we got it cleaned up, we would then virus and viroid test it. And if it was clean, then we'd move to get it into tissue culture. Once it's in tissue culture, about every 30 days, it gets too big for its container. And that one plant we can turn into 4.
Okay.
So if you think about how rapidly that multiplies, right? 4, and then each of those 4 by 4, and boom, 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 you can scale up really quite large. The other huge benefit to it is we can fit like 2,000 plants in a 10 by 10 room.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy, right? So Here's the thing, Marcel. Imagine this. You want to propagate that plant on a mass scale at Churro Cannabis. Okay. Yeah. Well, what do you need to do? You got to grow a bunch of mother plants, and those mother plants take up an exorbitant amount of room. They're also very susceptible to disease pressures and pest pressures and things like that, because they tend to get old. And the older that they get, they start to have start to have a bit of genetic drift to them. So the thing with tissue culture is because how we're propagating and it's so small, you actually have the exact genetic replicate every time you propagate or multiply that plant.
Right.
So what I'm getting at is we're actually talking about in the future, instead of you having mother plants, you would actually buy 100 plants in tissue culture form. You grow them up for about 60 days till they become teenagers. You then propagate off them. So you take 20 cuts, and so that 100 plants within 60 days turns into 2,000 plants, and you don't need to have mother plants at all. So if you think about the amount of space savings, it's huge. You're constantly getting verified, certified stock that is virus, viroid free and pest free. So it's a lot easier to keep your facility sterile. And that to me, that's really where, one of the plans that we see that the future of cannabis could head for people that decide to jump on board.
Well, mother rooms take up a lot of space.
Sure.
That's space that can be used for flowering.
Well, yeah. So how many plants can you flower off one light? And how many mothers can you fit under one light? How effective is that? If you do the cost breakdown on a mother plant, they're not cheap. It's like, I wish I had that.
They require a lot of nutrient too.
Well, you're still feeding them. They still have to have light. They still need water.
Yeah.
A lot more water than those, even.
Well, it's a bigger plant.
Yeah, so that's actually one of the things that we've been working on is we get LPs to send us their genetic material. We work to get it virus tested and make sure that it's clean. Then we get it into tissue culture, and then we sell it back to them, just like I was explaining, and then they propagate off that. And it's a really intelligent idea, and I truly believe it'll be the way of the future.
So your genetics now are being sold where? You said in Ontario and BC.
Yeah, so that's we sell seeds. So so it's Herbaceous is our seed brand. We sell to BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Ontario. Just finally got into Ontario. So we're a team of 4. There's literally 4 of us that work at CanGenX. We make and distribute Mantis. We do the tissue culture, and we work direct with other licensed producers. And then we produce seeds and we sell to the major provinces across Canada, and I'm sure you guys are super aware of this. It's like, for the people, we got our cannabis license. We're off to the races. It's going to be amazing. The hardest part isn't actually getting your license. The hardest part is getting your product into the provinces. It's crazy. It's like the amount of work that it takes and money and it's wild. But so we're pretty proud to say that we are selling to the biggest provinces with such a small team, and that we were able to do that within a year since we got our nursery license. So.
Oh yeah. We're well aware of how hard it is to get stuff. Lenny, how long's it been that we've been working on hash?
Oh, wow. That's basically my fucking job all day.
Yeah.
Making hash.
Getting our shit into places.
Yeah.
Well, and hash too. Like how many other companies are selling hash like that? I think that's a really smart angle to come at, because it's not a market that it's not a product that's already like totally saturated, right?
Ours is bubble hash.
And there's
So it's all
talk.
washed.
There's talk about hash making a comeback.
Well, it's going to here in Nova Scotia on the 21st, because we've just had our hash released on our medical platform, which I get to try on Monday.
Awesome.
Early reports say it's amazing.
Haha. Hey. Tuesday, if I let you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
They remember I'm
Tuesday.
Lenny, I'm his gatekeeper because I got his hash for him.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But no, Mike, like I say, Mike brought up a really interesting point that people don't get it, and all these like micro growers and everyone's getting a license. Its trick is distribution, how to sell it.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
No.
I talked to and it's still, so there's like 680 licensed producers now across Canada, like close to 700 license holders. And it's still, every Friday you look, it's like 10 more and 10 more. and you're still talking to these companies that are building these huge facilities and they're like, they're thinking, they're looking at these huge dollar signs, but it's like, so do you have someone that's going to purchase your product? Like, how can you spend that amount of money this late in the game, thinking that you're going to make millions of dollars and you don't have a purchaser set up yet?
You need a strategy.
That was just in the news here recently about somebody that's set up to grow and can't sell it because he's got nobody to sell it to. He can't sell it directly to the liquor store. So he's got to sell it to another licensed producer. Licensed producer is producing enough that they don't need to buy somebody else's.
He didn't get the medical sales license.
So
let's talk about like how disgusting is it that nothing's selling unless it's over 25% THC. Like that's just the reality. Is nobody's buying that.
And I don't know why, because you can get just as wrecked off of something that's only 16 or 18%, depending on the strain.
I know.
Absolutely. It's all about the terpenes.
The education is not there. People have not taught people anything other than THC level is where it's at.
That's why we see marketing out there on the black market with edibles saying 500 milligrams of THC. Why?
Yeah.
Tell the truth, how much there is. People don't need 500 milligrams. If you're giving somebody 500 milligrams, it's a waste.
Them $100 ounces, Marcel, that are selling like hotcakes from them online dispensaries and local. I said that the $100 ounces that are selling.
Yeah.
None of them would likely reach 21%.
There's a lot of that going on down here or over here,
and they're selling like hotcakes, right? So people,
because
it's not the fact
price
that people
point
don't
is
care.
there.
Yep.
It's the price point, yeah.
And those people still get high off of it. So.
Right, but you still have the connoisseur people that they want the high THC, or they've been taught that the high THC is better.
So I was talking to my brother-in-law the other day, and I'm like, so what do you buy? Because like I very rarely am purchasing from the dispensaries because of I've got access to different strains and like whatever. But he's like, well, yeah, I always buy the 25% plus, and I was like, well, why? And he goes, the reason why is because if the company was able to achieve that high of THC, then they've spent the time selecting the genetics, and they have the environmental controls and the grow controls so dialed in that they were able to achieve that type of output. That makes me trust that it's a good product to purchase. I was like, that's a pretty damn good answer. I don't think that the general population is that educated or that they're looking at it from that angle. I think that the dispensaries are the bud tenders are not as knowledgeable as they need to be, or that maybe they're basically like when people go into the store, they're like, what's good? And they're like, well, this one sells. Right? This is the one, it's the highest THC. That's the hottest thing that's selling and whatever. It's easy sell for them, as opposed to they should be going like, well, what are you buying this for? Right?
Right.
Is it like just to get his head rocked as possible, or do you have a sore back?
They're not allowed to, though. They're not allowed to have those conversations.
So legally, you're allowed to explain the product. However, you're not allowed to make claim to any sort of thing that it
medical
could help with.
Right. Fair.
So this is where the problem is. It's the legalities of it all, and the misinformation. Like I was saying, they're teaching people that indica puts you in the couch. I think retail people need to do a better job of educating themselves on the terpenes,
but
the products that they're selling, and to explain to the person that it's not just about THC and CBD. It's about the entourage effect from everything. And let them choose, and tell them, keep a diary.
That's an argument that's been going on for a long time, Mary Jane.
So we're in indica, sativa and indica, and sativa was always called the daytime medicine. It was the energetic one. Indica was the one that Coach locked you, put you to sleep. That was because indica predominantly had a lot more CBG in it as well as CBD than sativas did. And it's really more the terpenes and everything else. But the problem is now they've interbred so much that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they're all hybrids.
Yeah,
pretty much everything is hybrid now. You may still find some landrace strains out there, but those are going to be predominantly in the we'll call them the gray market. A lot of the medical community still has a lot of landrace genetics.
Well, they just need to stop with the effects with the indica sativa and talk more about the fact that it's the appearance. It's the subspecies of cannabis. It's tall versus short, bushy and skinny.
But what's the difference between, like, why bother writing sativa or indica on edibles?
It should put the strain on it. Personally, if you're going to make an edible, I want to know what strain it is. Is it Pink Kush?
No, most of them don't know because they've just bought distillate.
Yeah,
but they'll put sativa or they'll put.
Better.
Well, they don't. I mean, call it what it is. It's distillate. It's just THC, right? So they can't call it a sativa or an indica. But when it's ingested, it doesn't matter because they don't affect it any different.
When it's not pure, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. This
is purely my opinion, but I don't know. I kind of came to this consensus a while ago. But so it's so cool. You know, there's obviously the cannabinoids in the plants, and there's cannabinoids in our body, and the cannabinoids of the plant work with the cannabinoids in our body. And one of the things that I noticed, if you look to like landrace strains, I actually noticed that the plant is a lot like the effects of the plant is a lot like the demeanor of the people in the area. And what I mean by that is, like, if you look like a traditional indica, it comes from like the Himalayan mountains in India, and they sit there and they meditate, and they're smoking their chara, and they're so chill. And then you look
looks
at
like a great place to hang out, really.
Totally, it's be the best, right? But then look to like landrace sativa. A lot of them come from areas like Africa. So even like a lot of the African strains are actually naturally high in THCV. And what's the effect of THCV? It gives you energy and it curbs your appetite. It's like, holy shit. Like, that's like exactly what the people in that area need to get by. So that's just a personal observation, and it could be
actually
out of nowhere, but
it's kind of a freaky observation when you say it.
Well, I think there's a lot of truth to it, right?
No, that's why I think it's freaky, is because I don't think any of us ever thought about it.
Yeah, it's not something you would think about.
It's true. Smoke some Hindu Kush, and it's like this relaxed blanket just kind of like comes over you, you know, and you're at peace and everything is calm.
But that's why
I tell patients as a pharmacist, try every fucking strain. Because nobody can tell you what one's going to do. You got to fucking try it.
Strain specific,
keep the diary, keep the book.
Just
when people ask me what kind of cannabis should I use, yes, cannabis.
I like that.
It doesn't matter what kind, just use cannabis.
If you like
it, keep fucking using it. If you don't like it, try something else.
Remember we had Haley.
Sorry, I was just going to say diesel.
Yeah.
Gas, I cannot. But I know that through experience, right? I wouldn't have known that if I didn't keep a book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, remember we had Haley on and Cheryl, and they were talking about they found the best treatment for Haley was to take her to the dispensary and let her smell the different kinds. And basically her brain told her which was the strain that was going to help her the most.
See, that has to do with the terpenes in the cannabis. They say the nose knows.
And Marcel, what was her ailment?
Epilepsy, very severe epilepsy.
Yeah,
we're talking about Haley Rose, who
from Vancouver.
In Vancouver, and
I think she's actually from Summerland.
Is she?
But yeah.
Cheryl comes on the show every now and then with Haley. We've had Haley actually on the show, which was really, really cool because sometimes she's on and sometimes she's not, you know.
She was on, but that's when they were talking about, they figured out to take her to the dispensary and let her smell the different strains to find out what was going to work best for her.
And, you know, that was a few years ago, Marcel, and now we know from studies that the odor also has a lot to do with it. The terpenes in that, right?
Yeah.
Well, I always explain to people, like, terpenes are pretty simple. If you smell it, if you smell something citrusy, what is your natural reaction? It's
Yummy.
like, what do you feel?
Lemon.
It's lemon is like refreshing.
But your mouth starts to water.
It's happy. Your mouth starts to water. Yeah, lavender.
I gotta do this though. I learned this today, and I didn't believe it till I tried it. So you guys gotta try this. It's kind of cool. You can't swallow more than 3 times.
Oh, here we go.
All right. So while your mouth has saliva right now, swallow. All right. Everybody swallowed.
Saliva.
Oh, I almost just gagged. That's crazy.
But now swallow again. And then swallow again. And see if you can actually swallow the 4th time. right?
Oh.
And it's because your body automatically shuts down to protect itself.
That's so gross.
Kind of
I was
cool,
like,
though.
I can do it. No, can't do it.
No, you can't do it.
You heard that on the radio this
So
morning,
weird.
actually.
Yeah, I was listening to that on the radio, and I didn't believe it until I tried it, and it was fucking true. So now I've been telling everybody else, go ahead, try it. See, you just can't do it.
But back to your question there, Anthony, that's why some cannabis that is grown in them high altitude Himalayan regions for outdoor is super strong. It's because it produces a heck of a lot more trichome to protect itself from the sun up there.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and trichomes are also, it's a natural defense. So like insects don't want to land on it because they're sticky.
Yep.
Oh, it's very sticky.
If you can figure out
sticky shit.
You can
If
see
you can
them
figure
right behind Marcel right now.
If you can figure out sunscreen, if you can make sunscreen out of it and it wasn't so sticky, you'd have the best sunscreen in the world.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, there's an idea.
Funny.
If you eat
story.
cannabis, and I prove this, I used to sunburn all the time. Like, I mean, blister sunburn, until I started ingesting cannabis every day. And because I've been doing that now since 2009, I don't sunburn. I just tan. There's no more burning at all. So I think I'm getting my own sunscreen through my skin.
Yeah, you're
from
like
eating so much
trichomes.
Yeah. But in my picture, those little round globular heads, that's the only part of the cannabis you want.
Say that again. Globular.
Globular.
Globular
heads.
So
But are there,
funny story. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Marcel, what
There's
trichomes
types-
are them?
There's different types of globular heads, and I'll show you.
Yeah, there's bubbleless, senseless.
Say that 3 times, Marcel.
Globular heads. It's hard to say that one time. But that's with that mantis, because I just took these pictures tonight. That's why I'm saying it's ready to harvest now.
For Marcel.
Speaking of mantis,
I don't like amber, so
Mike.
So that is that an uplifting high there, Marcel?
That will be a very uplifting head high.
I'm pretty high. That's Sun God strain, which is, and I forget what's in it, what the cross is.
That's where I thought the feeling came from, was the color of the trichomes.
No. Well, yes and no. If you get a lot of amber, and I don't like amber because amber is basically CPN. That's when it's degrading.
And that makes you sleepy, right?
Yeah. I don't have a problem sleeping. I can fall asleep at any moment. That isn't a problem for me. What I need is keep me awake. So I tend to look for the sativas, or
You want to know
I'll
what
harvest.
CBN?
Yeah.
In 1975, they did a study with CBN. CBN doesn't make you sleepy unless you have CBN with THC.
Oh, really? Yeah, but I don't want THC distillate the same as I don't want CBN.
No, but
either.
just an interesting fact is I think some people are trying to put CBN and create their own special, just pure CBNs.
Yeah.
But actually, the study shows THC doesn't work as well by itself. CBN doesn't work as well by itself. When you put them together, it makes you sleepy.
Well,
THC helps. It's basically a gateway. It's like a conductor. It's just like if you take straight CBD, it's not going to be as effective getting into your body unless you pair that with a little bit of THC.
That's why me, Marcel, and Lenny preach whole plant CBD oil over distillates or isolates, because you're getting a more balanced effect.
For sure.
You're getting all of the other cannabinoids. Think of THC and even CBD as basically being keys to unlock all of the other cannabinoids, which are really the medicinal compounds that are available.
I don't like it on its own. I don't like CBD on its own. I don't like THC on its own. I find I get actually quite cranky with too much THC.
Okay, so but THC, most of the THC distillate that's out there isn't Delta 9, it's Delta 8.
Okay, so that's the new thing that's going around. That's a whole other show.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Delta 8's got a totally different effect of Delta 9, and same as hydroxy 11 or 11 hydroxy, and the same as THC A and THCV. But Delta 9 is the one that the plant produces naturally, and that's the one that gives you that really good high, and that's the one that converts to 11 hydroxy in the liver. So if they were coming out with Delta 9 distillate, then I might be a little more excited, because I could pair that with whole plant CBD oils and things like that, and that would still be the catalyst and key to open up those cannabinoids.
Darcy, what kind of bird is that?
Huh?
Yeah, you can't hear it. Never mind. You told me you heard a bird the other day when we were doing the show, and you told me what bird it was.
Oh yeah, no, I can't hear them.
Oh,
I could hear
I could hear it in my headset. I thought you guys could hear it.
See, Ontario, but in Ontario, you guys got a lot of birds up there that we won't even get down here.
It's very loud. It's a little tiny thing, and it's really loud. It looks it's about
might be a song sparrow.
That's
but do you guys have magpies up there, Al?
Isn't that just a crow?
Here,
it's a crow with white.
Let me turn this up. See if you guys can hear it.
That's one of your pond thrushes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Magpies are basically crows with white on them.
They're super mischievous. They're kind of like blue jays, but the white and black. We've got them out here in BC.
Yeah, they're in BC. They're in Alberta. I just wondered if they're in Ontario. We don't have them in Nova Scotia.
Thank God.
Robin says not in Ontario. They're in Alberta.
Yeah. Well, I know it. I've seen them.
I know our woodpeckers in the area like my barbecue.
Do you know what we should do, though? We should give Mike a chance to do his spiel.
Yep.
And
give some plugs.
It was a good spiel.
Plug.
His plugs.
Yeah, well, first off, thanks for having me on. I have to say, you guys are super inviting. You know, it's I feel like I'm hanging out. You know, Friday night having a puff and a drink with a bunch of friends. So props to that and good job with that. Back to Mantis, everybody. It works. It works really well if you want to make your grow simpler and you want to still get incredible results. Give it a go. Look into it. What we say is true. It's a lot of people are like, I don't know if I can believe you. It sounds too good to be true. It's true. It really is. Give us a Google. Check out the reviews. If you're on Instagram, go check out @CanGenX. It shows, I showed that photo of our tissue culture. There's a lot of really cool. We've been posting 5 days a week for close to 3 years now. So there's a ton of material about the cannabis technology that we do there. Another thing I didn't get a chance to bring up, anytime if you want to do sex testing, all I need is a sample of a leaf about the size of your thumb scent, and we can we test it molecularly. So we look to its DNA to tell you if it's male or female. So literally you can have a little, like your plant there, you could take a leaf off and I could tell you if it's male or female. So
what does something like that cost to do?
Yeah, it's $25.
You know what? I'm
$25.
Not with this one, but with one, just to see,
Yeah, for sure. We've got lots of clients that they're large scale outdoor growers and they're working with regular seed. And so boom, 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 we weed through all the males right away. They know that they're dealing with females. It's a great service, and it's quite affordable when you think about the time and money you put into that plant and the risk. Remove the males before they become an issue. Again, review for Mantis. Take advantage of that promo code. 40% is that's a legit
I've
discount.
put those in our Facebook chat as well, so they are there. And you'll if you want to give the website again and give the promo codes again, then anybody who wasn't listening earlier will get them as well.
For sure. So check us out at Mantis Buffered Nutrients. Promo code is first time #1. That's first time, no space, all caps lock. Put that in the discount bar. That's going to save you 40% off your first order. After that, if you order 4 or more and you put in the number 4 and then or more with no space 1, that gets you the same rate moving forward if you're ordering 4 or more at a time.
And again, those are in the video as well, so you can scroll through the chat and you'll find that if you can't figure
awesome.
it out.
Yeah. My last plug is, guys, check out our seed company, our brand called Herbaceous. They're incredible. The one thing I will say about them, they're stable seed lines. So they're all F5 or higher, which means we're not just breeding the mom and dad together and selling you the offspring where there's a huge chance of you having a lot of variability in your plants. When you grow with our genetics, you can expect to get very uniform and stable plants moving forward. They are regular, so again, maybe get them sex tested, or play with them and do some crossbreeding of your own. It's totally up to you. But again, yeah, been a huge pleasure. I appreciate your guys' invite to being able to preach about our products, and we're super proud of them, and where we're gonna go with them.
Well, I'm gonna. Marcel has my contact information. Please, I'd like to try it, and we'll talk about it on the show like Marcel does, and then because you'll get an honest to goodness newbie attempt, and Mary Jane's got a picture.
This is from their seeds, from their seed webs, their genetics.
Wow!
Look at the frost on that, like
yeah, and the purple too, eh? Like that's the Denali there. Yeah.
Like, look at the trichomes. Like, this is beautiful.
Oh, somebody in the chat says, do you dye your beard or is that natural?
Okay. Yeah, actually, it comes with a pretty good story.
Thing, eh?
That's totally. So here's the story. I got frostbite on my chin from snowboarding. And as that was healing, I actually went to Mexico. And it was a cloudy day, and I didn't put any sunscreen on it. And so I sunburnt the shit out of it. So I had this huge blister about the size of a toonie. It was just jiggling away. And then, of course, that night I'm in the discotheque, like dancing away to Vengabus or something like that. And everybody's going, hey, hey, hey. And I go to do the world's biggest worm, and my arms gave out, and I smashed my chin on the dance floor. And I ripped the whole blister off, and so now my chin, it's just like there. It's like, yeah, you're done. There's no more color. So,
so now
that's like
I got
the coolest shit ever. It's like yin yang.
Speaking of snowboarding, next week we have what's his last name? Right, it's Ross Regabuto.
Right.
Yes, so Ross will be on. He's looking forward to coming and chatting with us next week. So I'm looking forward to that. We've been waiting to get him on the show.
And hey,
we're gonna make you say his name.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
And if Ross is listening, I still haven't got my bomb.
Well, you can ask him next week. He'll be here.
All right. Waiting since 2018.
Mike, it's been a pleasure. Like I said, I'd love to try this shit. And you're welcome to come back and hang out anytime you want, man.
Yeah, pleasure.
All my people were guests, including Marcel, that never left.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
cool.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd be honored to pop in and out every once in a while.
You're more than welcome.
I'll obviously, like I'll shoot you an email later and we'll set something up.
For sure.
Yeah.
You guys got anything else you want to throw out there before we say goodnight? No? Okay. This is the 420 Radio Show. We're here Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. out there in the Eastern Coast, out there in Nova Scotia, hey? And I just offended all of Nova Scotia, I know.
You Ontarians.
Yeah, we're Ontarians. Mary Jane and I are Ontarians.
I think they're better than everybody
What
else.
did you say, Lenny?
Oh my God, that's true. I went for a walk
we think
the other day.
we're the ones with the Atlantic bubble. Who's the stuff?
Yeah, I know it. All right, guys, we're going to say goodnight. Check us out next Friday. Again, Ross will be here with us. And let's call this shiznit done. Now, let me do the thing here.
Play the song.
Say goodnight.
Good night.
Okay.
Have a great weekend.
Got to play the song.
So what are you doing?
Nothing.
Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.
Recording stopped.
Mike, real quick.